Yet you want to be you want to be stubborn, and you want to be you want to be a nigga's wife, boy. That's crazy. You want to be a nigga's enemy. You want war with me. You want love and war is what you want. Your ass ain't ready for no war. It's just a matter of time before you come home anyway. It's a matter of time before you in my arms anyway. I hate this for us. I hate this for us. I hate that we can't have a conversation and talk. I hate that we got to nick and pick with each other. When all I want to do is love you. All I want to do is protect you. I think I like being out here mad. You feel me? You been lying. You lying about a lot of shit. And I don't care to expose the shit that you lying about. But you lying about a lot of shit. What do you got to lie for? Just be honest and people will respect you more. But no, you know why people running with what you seeing? Because you making it sound so good. Maybe I am going too hard on them. Maybe I am going too hard on them. Maybe I ain't looking at it the right way. Maybe, you feel me? It just was a miscommunication thing. Maybe, you feel me? Bro, I don't know, bro. You're not thinking like that because you ain't yourself. You thinking, you keep saying, somebody got your man. You possessed by something. You possessed by something. You possessed by something. You are. You definitely possessed by something. Something got you. Something got all y'all. And it might be what I'm trying to do. Whatever's on you, I'm probably trying to get. Whatever it got you possessed is probably the reason why I'm so stuck on you, because I'm probably trying to get that and kill whatever's on you so you can think for yourself. So maybe that's what it is.
This poor woman has been stalked for the last 7 years by a man who she only went out on a date with. He has even went as far as telling his whole family that they live together, that they have a child together. And the worst part is she says he has a wife and 4 children. She says they have never kissed, never dated, never held hands, never done anything but go on a date that her friend, had set them up on. She said she's reached out to his family, his wife, and the only response she got was from his brother and his mother-in-law, I believe she said. She said the brother is the only one with any type of sense that says, okay, this is not cool. And this is the man that has been stalking her. He made 3 response videos so far. The first one being 45 minutes long. The next 2 being, I believe, 20 to 30 minutes long. He claims he has not been stalking her. If you watch his videos, it's very concerning. Basically says he's going to love her from a distance. He loves a woman that doesn't love him back. He will see her in his dreams. Just very, very off. He even used her face on one of his album covers. He does music, if you go to his page. And she also says that he has told his family that they moved to Texas together. She says neither one of them live in Texas. So this is just very wild, you guys. But I'm wishing her the very best. I can't imagine how scary this must be. And for 7 years, you guys.
I feel like 10 people listen to my story time. Because the point was about how the word of God is like, that should be our reality. That was the whole point of me telling the story. But I am protected spiritually. I am protected physically. I'm protected. I do have an order of protection, an IPO. It's similar to an EPO, and it's active. I have an active IPO against this guy currently. I had it last year. When I took him to court last year, I said that in the story. I won the case. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. If he ever shows up anywhere, that will be his last day stalking me. He's only able to stalk me because he hasn't shown up. So, and also, people keep asking how he's getting in contact with me. That screenshot was not a text message. That was a Facebook Messenger message. That screenshot was not a text message. He does not have my number. I changed my number 3 times. He doesn't have my number, but he just created another TikTok account. He's telling his side of the story. So, and he tagged me on his videos. So, and I want people to watch the video, because if you watch that video and you come out with, I don't know who is telling the truth, it says something about you. Like I had one guy comment on his video and comment on my video and try to accuse me of lying after listening to his video, and it's like, I can't even get mad if you can listen to that man tell his side of the story and believe him. Because first of all, he can't stop saying like, I'm still in love with her, I'm in love with her. What sane person is going to be saying that in response to somebody saying that they've been stalking them for 7 years? The discernment is off. And then I won my case. He said I won my case because he told the judge, like, do whatever makes her feel comfortable. That's not how things work. The judge wasn't like, oh, just do whatever makes her feel comfortable. Okay, well, the verdict is against you. No, a judge hears out the case, and that's why I won the case. Not because he gave it to me. It's not like a sporting event. It's not like, and I don't even know how sporting events work. It's not like a game where he could forfeit. No, she saw the evidence and saw that this man was out of his mind. He had to get a psychological evaluation, and he got his firearms taken away from him. He cannot have firearms legally.
Yeah, honestly don't know what else to tell you. If I was you, I would already been down there to the FBI office, because like it's a movie shit going on and it's scary. It's very scary for him to portray this whole life with you. Like I said, when I heard he told me I had a son together, that's when I was like, okay, maybe I'm overstepping my boundaries. Whole time you don't even got no damn kid at all.
When I tell you I've never, like, we've never made physical contact.
Okay, this is a story about how my ex-coworker set me up to be fired, arrested, and God knows what else she was trying to do, all within the same setting, and how it came back to bite her in her ass so bad, she probably still can't sit down. So let's get into it. Me and this lady, we're going to call her Sharon. We were working at a local restaurant as servers. Sharon was like 50 at the time, and a very hard 50 at that. And I was like 25. We had been working together for around a year or something like that. And Sharon was that type of woman who was very loud for no reason. And she would talk about people like shit behind their back. And she would smile in their face. Just trying to give y'all an idea of her character. Anyway, y'all, this new person started working there as a cook. We're going to call her KK. KK was around 27. She was a very attractive stud. I don't go that way. No problem with those who do. Telling y'all that for the sake of the story. So Sharon developed a very dangerous crush on KK. She was in KK's face every single day. But the attraction was definitely not mutual, and Sharon had made it up in her sick, jealous mind that the reason that the attraction was not mutual was because KK had a crush on me. And she also thought that me and KK had something going on off the clock, which we didn't. We had never even saw each other off the clock. And the even more interesting part is that KK never even tried to talk to me, y'all. But yeah, that's why I say jealousy is the most dangerous emotion a person can hold. Like, and it is. So anyway, y'all, let's get to the point. One day I go into work and there is a box on the counter, donation box for KK. Basically what happened was somebody stole KK's credit card out of her car at the job, and they maxed that thing out, baby. They maxed that card out. So the donation box was to help her, get the money back, I guess, to pay it off or whatever. So I was like, damn, like, I'm sorry, girl. Like, I felt terrible. You know what I'm saying? I felt horrible for her. And y'all, while all of this was going on, very few people knew. But there was an arrow pointed directly at me, and I didn't even know it. So tension was brewing all around me in the days leading up to this. And it's crazy because people knew, including me. So like I was saying, The few people that knew, including managers, all the managers knew and a couple of employees knew. Not one person warned me. Not one person. No one warned me. And I was going into work every day leading up to this thinking that everything was okay, with a big smile on my face. And the whole time I had an arrow pointed directly at my back. And they put me in danger. Because what if some KK would have spazzed or anything could have happened to me? Y'all see what I'm talking about? So boom, y'all, it was a Thursday night. I will never forget. I go into work. I'm dead in the middle of my shift. We are slam packed. 3 police officers come in. They handcuff me, read me my rights, and they take me to jail. The whole ride there, I'm like, what is this about? What did I do? What did I do? Because I didn't do anything, right? And I am so dumbfounded. And I will never forget the way that one of my managers looked at me. He looked at me like, you snake. And like looking back, it gets me mad just thinking about it, because I ain't do nothing, y'all. Nothing. And the fact that they would even think that I would do something like that, you know what I'm saying? That's the part that really messed me up. But anyway, back to the point. We get to the police department. They handcuffed me to a chair for 2 hours. 2 hours, baby. 2 hours I was handcuffed to a chair. The whole time, I'm like, why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? Would not answer me. The only answer that I got was that a detective or whatever would be there to talk to me and that he could give me the answers that I needed. So finally, y'all, this said detective gets here. He takes me into this interrogation room and he asked me everything that I had done that previous Friday. And I'm thinking, and I'm like, I went to work. I start trying to backtrack, and I'm thinking, yeah, I went to work, and I dropped my daughter off at her dad. I just get to thinking, and I'm like, and then after I said that, I said, sir, what is this about? He looked at me, and he said, 1 second, ma'am. Leaves the room. He comes back in. And at this point, he was like, what is your ethnicity? Which don't really matter, but he asked why he asked for a reason, I guess. And so I told him, and he said, well, you've been accused of stealing one of your coworkers' credit cards, and one of your other coworkers is told that you did it. So y'all, he said that one of my coworkers had claimed that she saw me pull into work that previous Friday. She saw me get out of my car. She saw me go into KK's car, and she saw me steal KK's credit card. And then she saw me proceed to walk into work. Not only did she see me do all of this with her own 2 eyes, I bragged about it to her too, y'all. At this point, I was just like, pinch me, I gotta be dreaming. And I was like, my mind was racing. And I was like, who hates me this bad to have gone this low? You know what I'm saying? Gone this low to try to destroy me, basically. Like, yeah. But they would not tell me who did it. They wouldn't tell me who made the claims. However, after he told me why I was there, he proceeded to say word for word, ma'am, I am so sorry. I'm going to call your job, tell them what happened, what we now know. And yeah, words can't express how sorry we are. We got the wrong person, whatever. I'm free to go. Call my ride, come pick me up. I'm still like in shock, disbelief, mind racing, wondering who did this to me. Anyway, y'all, obviously because of it being a felony, and it being as serious as what it was, after the claims were made and after they whatever they did, they went and retrieved video footage from one of the places where the person used the credit card. Duh. Like, duh. I guess the person didn't think that deep. You know what I'm saying? But out of one of the places they went, it was some gas station. And they had very clear footage of this person. And I just want y'all to guess who it was on that video footage using KK's card. Guess who it was? It was Sharon, y'all. It was Sharon using KK's card. Yeah, Sharon. Okay, y'all, I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. I'm on break, but like I said, I found out that he was watching me. Y'all please do not judge me, but I ended up going into work the next day. I was young, y'all. I was young, and I had been giving up all my shifts because I was making such good money at this place. And I was a single mother, and I have bills to pay. Again, I should have never went back. You know, we live and we learn. So I go in the next day, and thank goodness he was not there. My coworker, Jessica, was there. So Jessica ends up going home early. As Jessica is going out, he is coming in. My heart literally dropped. But he was actually acting like nothing ever happened. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just play it cool. I'm not going to say anything. So I'm working. He comes up behind the counter and he's like, do you want to go to dinner with me? I'm about to close the store early. Delusional, y'all. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't. I just made something up because I know at this point this man is crazy. So I just made something up. And y'all, something in me said, leave. Something in me told me to get out of there. So I said, listen, Bob, I'm going to have to go. I am sick to my stomach. I feel like I've got to throw up. Like, I need to go. And so he says that he needs to leave too. And he's shutting the store down. So he starts cutting off all the lights, which is normal procedure. And he goes to lock up the door. Normal procedure, because you have to count down the cash in the registers. Y'all, he comes up behind the counter. I had on a zip-up shirt similar to this one. He ripped my shirt open and said something so sickening to me, and he tried to assault me. I then proceeded to kick him into a hair rack. I got him off of me, and I ran. And y'all, thank God he kept those keys in that door. Had he not, I would have been locked in that store. And it does not end here. It gets worse and worse. But thank God I escaped that attempted assault. So, and I'll come back with a part 3, y'all. I've got to go back to work.
Story time. So yesterday, I get a call from an unknown number. So I answer, I'm like, hello. They're like, where you at? I'm like, who is this? They're like, don't worry about it. Where you at? I'm like, who is this? Don't worry about it. So I hung up because we're not about to play these games. You're not about to call my phone questioning me, and I don't even know who you are. If your number was in my phone and I deleted it, clearly you somebody I need to stay away from. So fast forward, about 20 minutes later, I get a knock at the door like. So I go in my kitchen and I'm peeking. I'm trying to see who it is, and I can't see who it is. So I'm not answering the door. I'm being quiet. I'm telling my kids to be quiet because I'm like, who the fuck is this at my door? Plus, I just got this weird ass call, right? The knock got hard. It was like. So I'm like, who the fuck is this at my door banging? So my phone starts to ring again, and I'm answering. I'm like, hello. But I'm whispering because I'm in the kitchen. I don't know if that's the person at my door. They're like, open the door. I'm like, who the fuck are you? And get off my porch before I call the police. Keep in mind, I don't see no car. I don't see nothing. Like, I can't even see the body. Like, I don't see nothing. So I'm still in my kitchen. And I'm looking out the window. So my kitchen has 3 windows. So I go to the second window, and I'm looking out the window. And I'm like, who the fuck is this? So I see somebody walking in my backyard. So by the walk, I can tell it's a man. But I can't see the face yet because they ain't hit the corner yet for me to see the face. But I can see that it's a man walking. So I go to the other window, and I'm peeking, and I see the face. I'm like, I know you're fucking lying. Y'all, come back for part 2 because it's about to be crazy. So part 2 of the unknown knocking number. So they hit the corner. I'm in my other window. I see their face. I'm like, I know you fucking lying. So I'm looking and I'm just staring. And lo and behold, it's an X. And I'm like, what the fuck? But it's blowing me because I'm like, how the fuck do you, of all people, know where the fuck I live at? Like, you, of all people, how the fuck you know where I live at? I ain't talked to you in years. How the fuck you know where I live at? So now I'm scared because you not only called me, but you come banging on my door. You know where the fuck I live at. I ain't talked to you in years. How the fuck you know where I live? How? So he's looking around my backyard and I called the number back. I'm like, if you don't fucking leave, I'm going to either pew you or you going to jail or you going to be both. You need to leave. He like, I ain't going nowhere. You need to come outside and face me. I said, and face you? Face you for fucking what? I ain't talked to you in years. So I call the police. I'm like, hey, there's a strange man on my door, on my phone. I know who he is. I don't know how he got my address. I don't know why he's at my house. I haven't talked to this man in years. And he's showing up at my house. And I don't know why the fuck he's here. Like, come get him before I pew him. Because he's a threat and I have my kids in the house. So I live 2 minutes, literally 2 minutes from a police station. So the police come, it's like 2 cars, they walking, he coming from the backyard as they pulling up and they stopping like, hey, why are you in her yard? What are you doing here? So I come outside. At this point, I'm like, I feel a little bit more safe because the police is here. And I want to know why the fuck he's at my house and how he found out where I lived. So the police asking him, what are you doing here? How did you get her address and X, Y, and Z? He's like, I have her on camera. I have her on camera. The police like, on camera what? And I'm like, you don't have me on camera on anything because I haven't seen you in literally 5 fucking years. So you don't have me on camera on anything. So the police was like, what are you talking about? What is she on camera? What did she supposedly had did that's making you pop up at her house unannounced in X, Y, and Z? And the police was like, well, how did you get her address? Because she said she haven't seen you in 5 years and she's been living here for 3. So she had no contact with you to give you the address. How did you get her address? Y'all, this man said, I paid and did a background search and that's how I got all her information. And that's how I got her phone number. But she already had the phone number because I had this same phone number for like 15, 16 years. I've never had to change my number because people don't really harass me and bother me. So he had the number. Police like, well, we need to see what footage you're talking about and what is the extent of this footage. Y'all come back for part 3 to see what this man said. Part 3. So the police is asking him, what footage do you have of her? And what is the extent of this footage that caused you to do a background check on her and pop up to her house and call her phone and tell her to come face you? So he was like, I don't have the footage on me. I don't have the footage on me. It's on my other phone. But the police was like, well, if you don't have no footage of anything, this is considered harassment. And we can take you to jail for harassment. Keep in mind, this man is dressed in a black scully hat, a black hoodie, some black pants, some black boots. Like, to me, when you dressed in all black like that coming to somebody's house, you coming with an intent to get away with some shit. Like, that's not no normal ass pop up, come talk to me type shit, right? So then he switched his story. I do have half the video on this phone, but I don't have the whole video. So the police was like, okay, show me what you got and show me her in this footage and whatever it is she did. This entire time, he's not telling the police what I did. I did nothing. I haven't seen you in 5-6 years, so I have not did nothing. So he goes scrolling through his phone. Oh, I must have deleted it. X, Y, and Z. I don't have it. But I know I have the whole footage on my other phone. I can go get my other phone and come back. The police like, no, you need to leave and never knock her door again because if she hurt you, you are at risk because you came on her property. and you're trying to enter her home. So if you enter her home and she hurt you, she's not going to get in trouble for that because you're knocking her door, and that is considered harassment and stalking. So the police was like, show me the website you used to get her information off of. So he put up some website and actually showed the police where he paid, put in his little debit card number to do a background search on me. And the police was like, I know that's public record, but if this girl is not bothering you, y'all not dating, y'all not anything, that is stalking. That is considered stalking. So the police put him in handcuffs and was like, we're going to take you in for questioning for one, and then we're going to take you in for questioning for two, for stalking. So while one cop got him in handcuffs, searching him or whatever, the other cop runs to the car, takes his ID, and run his name. Y'all, come back for part 4 for when the cop come back with the ID. So part 4, y'all know when the police is about to arrest somebody, how they take your ID, go run it, see if you got any warrants, if you wanted, if you just know somebody that they really need to get off the streets, just to add to whatever they finna arrest you for anyway. So the cop with the ID come back, and he like, sir. Well, he didn't say sir. He called him by his last name, which I'm not gonna put that out there because my city is small. People know who the fuck people are. So he was like, sir, you just got out 6 months ago for attempting to unalive your ex-girlfriend. So my face dropped like my motherfucking teeth kind of fell out my mouth, how hard my fucking face dropped. I'm like, what the fuck? So the guy was like, I didn't try to kill anyone. I didn't try to kill anyone. He was like, that's not what our records say. So when I say I haven't seen him in 5-6 years, during that time, he was incarcerated, hence to why I didn't see him. But keep in mind, I also had got married. So I wasn't dealing with nobody else anyway. Like, I had married a woman. So I definitely was not entertaining no men. So yeah, that's that part. He got out 6 months ago for trying to unalive his baby mama. And I'm assuming that's why he was coming to my door, talking about, you need to come outside and face me. Keep in mind, I told y'all this man was dressed in all black from head to toe. Oh, the cop asked him, what was your motive for coming over here to her? This is your ex. Why did you come over to her? And you saying you got her on video, and you have no video proof of anything. He was like, well, I just really needed to talk to her about something. Like, his story kept changing. It went from I'm on video to he just needs to talk to me about something. I need to face him, X, Y, and Z. I'm like, spit it out. What was your motive of fucking coming over here, looking me up to find me? Y'all, this man said he felt like I hurt him when I left him and married a woman, and he needed to hurt me the way I hurt him. Literally saying this shit in front of the police. So the cop was like, so you basically came over here to unalive her? Y'all, this man said, if she would have opened the door, I'm not going to say that it wouldn't have happened, but it probably would have, because I'm mad, I'm hurt, I'm angry. And it's because of her that my baby mama won't let me see my kids. The cop like, no, your baby mama won't let you see the kids because you tried to unalive your baby mama a couple of years ago, and you went to prison, and you just got out 6 months ago. Now you coming over here to harass your ex that has absolutely nothing to do with you. Y'all have no kids together. She ain't seen you in years. This woman to move on with her life. You did a background search to get her number back and get her address to come over here harass her. Now you're finna go back to jail for attempted unaliving, because that's what the fuck you came over here to do. Like, the cop got pissed. So now I'm crying. I'm scared. My kid's in the house. But the thing is, when they searched him, they didn't find no weapon on him at all. Like a knife, a pew-pew, anything. No weapon was present at all. So what was you gonna me with? Because I have heat. I carry heat, baby. I keep that thing on me. I don't go nowhere without it. So, part 5, and it's the last part. So, the police like, no, now you're finna go to jail for stalking, harassment, and attempted unaliving because you said out your own mouth that you came over here with the intent to hurt her. So, I'm like, all right, cool. The police like, make a police report. So, I made the police report. As the police is, arresting him, they searching his pockets, they got him in handcuffs. This dude tried to say, y'all need to check my record. Y'all need to check my record. I'm not on my meds. I'm not on my meds. I'm not on my meds. I don't really act like this. I don't usually act like this. I'm not on my meds. I'm not on my meds. But the cop was like, if you're sane enough to know that you're not on your meds and you acting like this because you're not on meds, how come you wasn't sane enough to just take your ass home? You still chose to look this girl up. And then the police was like, show me that report again. So the police looked up the report. This nigga looked up this report a week ago. So the police was like, you looked this up a week ago. You come today. So now this is premeditated. At this point, this is premeditated because you sat on this information. This is premeditated. So granted, when they did run his name, it did pop up in the system that he is a psych patient. The motherfucker was in a psych ward before. When we was together, I admitted this nigga to the psych ward before because he was fucking crazy. He used to always talk about unaliving himself whenever I would say him, me and him gonna break up. I'm unalive myself. I'm gonna kill myself. So I called the police one day. I'm like, this nigga, somebody gonna kill himself. Come get him. So he has been to the psych ward before. And I'm assuming after the years, this nigga got diagnosed with bipolar schizophrenia and whatever. But this nigga trying to blame this shit on him not having no medicine on why he tries to his baby mama and me. So I told them, I said, whatever y'all do, keep this man the fuck away from me. I'm like, if y'all release him or if he get released for whatever the fuck reason, call and let me know so I can leave because I now don't feel safe in my home. This was like, there's not a good chance that this man's going to be released at all because we have him on 3 different things. One, he looked you up. That's stalking. He had absolutely no reason to look nobody up. He said, yes, this stuff is public records if you pay for it, but he had no reason to look you up. He looked you up with the intent to hurt you, as he said out his own mouth. That is considered stalking, harassment, and he already is charged with being attempted with prior unaliving incidents of his baby mama, and he already said he was coming to hurt you. So we have to take everything into consideration. He's not going to get out, and you will get a letter from the court, a card or something when you got to go to court for this and X, Y, and Z. So I see a lot of y'all saying in the comments, how come you don't have a Ring camera, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. When I was doing the story time, I was really just trying to push out the main details, but this is one important detail I did forget to include. This nigga had his hand over my camera. So I didn't see who he was, like, clearly. But he had his hand over my camera. I have a camera on my front door and on my side door. I'm going to get one for my back door. I ain't never really put one in my back door because I have a fenced-in yard. And it's kind of, I ain't going to say hard to get back there, but it ain't, like, easily accessible. You literally have to walk literally around my house in order to get there. But, yeah, he had one. And like I said, he had on all black. And he had on a Scully. So even if I did see the face on the camera, I just would have seen a Scully. I wouldn't have seen no face. Then y'all that's in the comments, I'm like, I would have called the police after the second knock and all this and all that. Okay, that's cool and all. I mean, yeah, I wasn't really tripping too much because, like I say, pew pew, I keep that thing on me. So if you would have entered, you would have entered out in the body bag. So I wasn't really tripping about that. But I'm going to give y'all another story time on the follow-up of what happened when I went to court and all of this. Because this story time is, I'm not going to, it's old now. But, you know, it's not that old. But I'm going to give y'all an update on what happened when we went to court and all of that other shit. This man was a narcissist, a liar, a manipulator, and moved me into a trailer behind an abandoned house. So story time, when I was 19, I was dating this guy, right? And I met him at a store next door to the job I was working at. I was working at a clothing store. He was in a shoe store. And back then, we used to bounce off stores and go to the store and ask for change, right? So I went to the store next door to get change from my store. So I met this guy when I was in there. And I was 19. He told me he was 27. So we texting. We chopping it up. We get to know each other. We hanging out. He taking me on dates. We going out. We having a ball. You know what I'm saying? He spending money on me. It's whatever I want, I can get. Life was great, right? So me and this guy, we date for like a year. And then we was like, okay, after a year of dating, we made it official. So by this time, I'm 20, he's 28. And we decided we wanted to be officially boyfriend and girlfriend after a year of dating, right? So we did that. The relationship was going good. The relationship was going great. Keep in mind, he had a son. He had one son who was on the spectrum. So I wasn't really actively around his son because he didn't really want nobody around his son because his son was on the spectrum. And he had the fear of his son being judged. So we're dating. Life is doing good. We planning futures together. You know, he told me he want to have a baby by me. So we actively tried to conceive a baby. It never worked out. I never got pregnant. I could never get pregnant. We tried different methods and everything to try to get pregnant, and it did not work, right? So in about 6 months into us dating, like our dating life starts to slowly shift down. We went from going on the dates like 2 to 3 times a week into just like every Tuesday we would go on a date. Like every Tuesday we would go on a date. But before we go on them dates on Tuesday, like he was like disappearing throughout the week. So like I would talk to him on the phone via text, but I wasn't seeing him until like Tuesdays came around when we started going on our dates. So I'm young and naive, so I'm not really putting 2 and 2 together, but like I noticed that our dating life is off, but it's like I'm not really tripping about it because like I say, I'm young and naive. He have a son that's on the spectrum. He works, he has a business, so he's a busy man. You know, trying to fit me into all of that with his busy life was just really not doable after it was already being done for a year, right? Come back for part 2 because it's about to get good. This man was a narcissist, a liar, a manipulator, and moved me into a trailer behind an abandoned house. Part 2. So, like I said, we was going on dates, and then the dates dropped down to 1 day a week, and we would go on Tuesdays. So it became a little jokey joke to where Tuesdays become our day. And every Tuesday we went out. So a little bit of backstory before I continue with the story. So I was 19, but I had my own apartment. But my mama was in a DV relationship and she had just left her DV boyfriend. So her and my little sister at the time had came and moved in with us. Well, moved in with me. So they were there. So when me and him was dating, I never allowed him to come to my house because I didn't want them to feel uncomfortable. Plus, I had a 1-bedroom and I had my room, of course, and my mother and sister had the couch because they just leaving a DV relationship. So he was never at my house. So during this whole year of time of us dating, he told me he had a house on Royal Oak. So I'm like, all right, cool. But he never brought nobody to his house because his son is on the spectrum and he don't want his son to feel uncomfortable. And he don't know how I will feel being around his son and seeing his son on the spectrum. Which at that point in time, I didn't know what that meant. So I was like, okay, cool. I went with it. That's your kid. You know him better than I do. I went with it. So all these times we linking for this year and a half, even as just dating before we became boyfriend and girlfriend, we're going to hotels. We're linking up at hotels. Keep in mind, I say he has a house in Royal Oak with his son and his caregiver that lives there. So we always linking up at hotels. We always go out. We always go out to eat. He always breaking me off. I'm telling you, every time we go on a date, this man was buying me an outfit. He was giving me money, and I mean giving me $1,000 a week. This man was literally giving me $4,000 a month every time we went on a date. And we wasn't friends on no social media at the time, but Instagram. So Instagram was like the only way we would interact with each other on social media. So keep in mind, I told y'all at this time, my mother and my sister was living with me. So a little bit of backstory was this is going to be a key point that's going to get us to the next step of the story. So like I said, my mother and my sister was living with me. My mother wasn't really a big fan of me dating this guy because she was like, you're only 19. He's 27. You shouldn't be dating no guy that's 27, X, Y, and Z. I feel like he's too old for you. I'm 18, 19. You pretty much can't tell me what to do. I'm grown. I'm in my home and you're basically living with me. So her opinion really didn't matter to me. And I was not listening to nothing she was saying because, one, I'm grown. This man was a narcissist, a liar, a manipulator, and moved me into a trailer behind an abandoned house. Part 3. So like I was telling her in the second part, my mama really didn't care for this dude and she really didn't care that I was dating him. And she thought it was oddly strange that every time we linked up, we went to a room and we could never go to his house and X, Y, and Z, right? In which, now, yes, it's weird. Then it was probably weird too, but I was so fascinated with this nigga balling out on me and me just being able to leave the house. I didn't care. You know, young puppy love. So we at the room one night. This is probably like, we probably exactly at that 2-year mark of kicking it. So we at the room one night and he was like, I got to go out of town for a couple of days. Can I give you some catalogs to run my business? So I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll keep business moving while you out of town. He was like, yeah, I just want to take my son on a little trip. I would invite you, but his caregiver gonna come. So I was like, you know, it's cool. You know, I'll run the catalogs and you and your family, you and your son, y'all go on y'all trip, right? So they ended up going to their trip, right? And they was gone. And I see him posting pictures on Instagram. They in Chicago. They went to the chocolate factory and X, Y, and Z, right? So there's this one picture that he posted. And there's a girl on there. And I'm like, damn, that little boy looks like that girl. So I'm like, all right, but I've never met the baby mama, never seen the baby mama, never heard about the baby mama, never even knew the baby mama name. I didn't even care to even ask about the baby mama. She was a non-factor to me, baby. I was getting 4 bands a week. I didn't give a fuck about a baby mama. So I remember texting him. I was like, hey, is that the caregiver in the picture of your son? Oh, yeah, that's the caregiver, X, Y, and Z. How's your day going? Blah, 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 blah. You know, he give me a call, give me a little 10-minute small talk with the, he going by his day, going by my day. He calls me back. He's like, how's the catalogs going? I'm like, they're going good. I done passed them out to some of my family. Some of my family have purchased some stuff off your books and X, Y, and Z, right? So while he out here out of town with the son and the caregiver, I'm back here in Michigan making shit happen, pushing out his catalogs and getting sales and X, Y, Z. Keep in mind, I already worked in retail, so I was a hell of a sales associate. So boom, fast forward, they come back from the trip. Our Tuesday rolled around, we link up, he tell me about the trip, we talking, and da this and da that, and we in the room, and we talking, and somehow we got on like a kink conversation, like an adult kink conversation, and he was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I still have some news of my BM in my phone. So me being curious, I'm like, let me see. So when he showed me the picture, it clicked. I'm like, that's the bitch from the Chicago picture. So I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't tripped. I ain't say nothing. So fast forward, the night goes on. We go on with our night. So we get up the next morning. We check out. We leave. We get back home. I text them. I'm like, hey, you told me that the lady in the Chicago pictures was just your son's caregiver, but she looked very much like the lady in the pictures you showed me last night that you said was your baby mama. Is that your baby mama? Is your baby mama is who live with you? No, that's not my baby mama. You tripping. That's 2 different people. They don't even remotely look the same and blah, 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 blah. So before I can go back and look on Instagram to look at that picture of that girl, the picture was gone. Gone. So I see y'all in the comments talking about, did you really believe that was that was his son caregiver? Yes, I really believe that. Because when I was 19, I was young, I was dumb, I wasn't really into doing my research. At this time, I had never worked medical ever. I was only working retail, and I was working a job. Then I was working a store called Simply Fashion. Then it's called Simply T now. So yes, when he told me that his son had a caregiver, I didn't know much about autism and much about kids being on the spectrum. So I didn't know. It didn't dawn on me to ever go to Google. Google is free to use my research. I'm not gonna say that I didn't care, but you didn't have me around him, and so I feel like I really didn't need to really educate myself. I mean, he never really talked about it to me anyway, so it was never really like something I really got interested into wanting to know and wanted to talk about. So yeah, I really did believe that was that man's fucking caregiver until, of course, he showed me the pictures of the baby mama, and then I seen the picture that was in Chicago. I'm like, damn, that's the same bitch. Even though he tried to make me delusional, like, oh, that's not the same person. That's not the same person. It was just the fuck it was. I'm not dumb. I might have been a little delusional, bitch. I wasn't stupid and I wasn't blind. Like, I see well. But yes, y'all, I really thought that was the fucking caregiver. This man was a narcissist, a liar, a manipulator, and moved me into a trailer behind an abandoned house, part 4. So yeah, so like after the picture on Instagram was gone, so I asked him like, well, why did you delete the picture? He was like, because I don't want you, psyching nothing and guessing nothing and feeling some type of way. I just took the picture down and I deleted the pictures of my baby mama on my phone too. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm thinking dog being respectful. Whole time dog ain't being respectful. Dog just really covering his tracks. Because now he like, okay, now this bitch is waking up. She's becoming more aware, right? So after that incident, I let that incident die down, and things are going good. So about maybe a week later, keep in mind, I said my mother stays with me. So my mother was a very controlling mother. Even though I was 19 in my own, she still had this mindset of, you still my child and I can control you. She was very controlling, and that over the years, even today at 32, makes me and my mother not have a healthy relationship. Although I do still take care of my mom, now in the present time, that just over the years just made me and my mom really not have a healthy relationship. So I was willing to leave my apartment and just let my mom and my sister have my apartment. And I'm crying. I'm calling him. I'm crying. I'm like, I'm so tired of arguing with my mom. She's doing too much of this. I'm not happy. I want to leave. I want to move. And he like, babe, yeah, it's time for you to move. You might just have to go ahead and just let your mom have that apartment. And you just come in and you just move in with me. And we just, we move in together in the X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, all right, cool. We set up a date for me to gather my things and for him to come get me and for me to move in with him. So all week we've been talking about this move. We've been planning. We've been getting stuff. He been taking me out shopping to get boxes. He done bought me like them little 3-tier tower crates that you put your clothes in. He bought me like 2 of them to fold my clothes up, put my clothes in. He said we'll just use these until we can get you a space to get you a dresser. So I'm like, all right, cool. At this point, I'm grateful for anything because I'm irritated and I want to leave my house because my mom is making me very fucking miserable. So we moving. So the day come for me to move. So we was like, all right, we're gonna move this Friday. So that Friday came out. I called. I'm like, no, what time are you coming? And he was like, I'm not gonna be able to come get you, but I'll send a car for you. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, okay, he finna send me a little black car to come get me. No, baby, he sent a Pontiac taxi cab. So I'm like, all right, cool. So the cab driver come. I'm bagging up my stuff. I'm putting my stuff in the car. I'm putting all my shit in the car, my clothes, my stuff. So my mom like, where you going? I'm like, oh, you can have this apartment. I'm moving out. And she said, where do you think you're going? I was like, I don't want to keep going back and forth with you. I'm uncomfortable in my own home. I know you can't really get nowhere right now because my mom wasn't really working. And at the time, the apartment that I was living in was a low income apartment. So I was like, you know what? You can have the apartment. You should be able to afford this rent. So I put all my shit in the cab and I left. This man was a narcissist, a liar, a manipulator, and moved me into a trailer behind an abandoned house, part 5. So the cab came. I put all my stuff in the cab. I left. So he sends me an address. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's this address? I'm like, this isn't Royal Oak. Keep in mind, his house is in Royal Oak. He said, oh, you're going to go to my mom's house first. Just have the cab take you to my mom's house because I don't want to have to pay that high ass cab fee to send you from Pontiac to Royal Oak. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not thinking of it. Keep in mind, I never met his mama. I never been to his mama house. I can't even tell you if this is really his mama house or not. I can't tell you now. But so I'm like, all right, cool. So the cab gets me there. The cab drops me off. So I'm sitting on the porch, right, with all my shit. And he was like, knock on the door and see if somebody let you in. So I'm knocking on the door. I'm like, no, nobody's here. So he was like, it's not a black Durango in the driveway. I was like, no, it's nothing here but like a trailer. So he was like, oh, well, just take your stuff and go sit in the trailer. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go put my stuff in the trailer. And I'm sitting in there, and he was like, all right, I'll be there in like an hour or less. So boom to boom, an hour came, right? So he pull up, he come in the trailer, we sitting in there talking, we kicking it, and we just vibing out and whatever. So he was like, yeah, we just gonna hang out in here for right now, because clearly my mama not here, and I don't have the key, and I'm just gonna have you put some of your stuff here, and then we'll come back, and we'll go to Royal Oak tonight, but we'll leave some of your stuff here. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we in the trailer. So he leaves his wallet. On like a stand in there. And I don't know what made me want to look in that wallet. But something kept saying, look in that wallet, look in that wallet, look in that wallet. I look in the wallet. I looked at the ID. But the birthday, I'm like, the math ain't mathing. Like, I might have been a little naive, but mathly, I was smart as fuck. So I'm like, the math ain't mathing. So I'm like, all right, cool. I took a picture of the ID. So I'm like, the math ain't math. So when I went back and looked at the picture again, the whole fucking name was different. The name that I've been knowing this guy as for the last 2 years was not this man's name on the ID. So I'm like, all right, I'm tripping, but I'm scared at the same time. So I'm like, I really don't know what the fuck to do. So I just play cool. I don't act out of the ordinary. I keep shit going good. This man was a narcissist, a liar, and manipulator, and moved me into a trailer behind an abandoned house, part 6. So after I find the ID, and I'm like, damn, his birthday, his name, all of this shit is a fucking lie. So I really don't know who the fuck I'm really here with. Because the person that you've been knowing me as, the person I've been knowing you as these last years, this is not the name that is on this ID. That is not the name. That is not the birthday. Same face, different names, different birthday. So keep in mind, the guy told me he was 27. When I looked at the ID and I did the calculations of the math, the man was 37. So he was 10 years older than what he told me he was. Keep in mind, I met this guy when I was 19. So when I met him and he told me he was 27, he was actually 37. So now I'm freaked out. I'm in a trailer. We're waiting on your mom. Your mom hasn't come back yet. You keep going in and out of the trailer, making phone calls. I done found this ID. Your birthday not the same. Your name not the same. I'm freaking out because now I feel like I'm with a fucking stranger. And now I'm scared because I'm here with no fucking car, with all my shit, with a fucking unknown man behind the house in a trailer, wait on his mama. So he was like, all right, boo. He come back in the trailer. He's like, all right, boo, I'm gonna have to leave for a little bit. Mom's stuck somewhere. She caught a flat, so I'm gonna go help mom. Whoop the whoop. So, all right, cool. So, like 3 hours went by. I'm calling. Y'all, I'm calling. I can't make this shit up. I'm calling. This man not answering the phone. So I'm texting. I'm like, you good? I'm like, where you at? Is you coming back? What's going on? Dead silence. I ain't hear shit to that nigga to the next fucking morning. The next morning roll around. He pulls up to the trailer full of apologies, roses. I'm sorry, boo. Mom got stuck. We had to call AAA. It was just so much shit. I couldn't get back to you. Da, 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 da. I'm like, you could have sent me a text and say, hey, I'm not coming back. You cool. I'm cool. Something. I'm like, you literally left me here. No food, no water, no nothing, because you were supposed to go help your mom and come back, and you never showed the fuck up. And I've been in this trailer for fucking damn near 16 hours without you, and now you want to pop up, and it's just some bullshit. So now at this point, I don't know your name. I know your name is fake. I know your birthday is fake. You left me in the trailer. You pretty much abandoned me for 16 hours with no food, no water, no nothing. Then you come back the next morning with some food, some roses, and a bullshit ass story. So he like, let's go for a ride. So we go for a ride. We ended up at like some little warehouse. So we at the warehouse, and he told me that this is the warehouse he keep his merchandise at, and which it was a bunch of shit in there. He was like, this is where I keep my merchandise at from the people that buy from my catalog. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm looking around and I'm seeing some shit with the boo. That's just small talk. We get back to the trailer. He like, do you think you could stay here tonight again by yourself, and then, you know, I'll be able to, you know, let you into mom's house tomorrow and X, Y, Z, and then we'll go to Royal Oak. So me being young and naive, I'm like, yeah, I'll stay, right? Come back. This man was a narcissist, a liar, and manipulator, and left me in the trailer behind in an abandoned house, part 7. And this is going to be the final part, so this part might be long. So after he asked, when I stay in the trailer one more night by myself, and then tomorrow when his mom come, I put my stuff in the house, and then we'll go out to the house in Royal Oak. So I'm like, all right, yeah. Y'all, I cannot make this shit up. This man literally didn't come back for 48 fucking hours. 48 fucking hours. Keep in mind, he only got me food to really last through the next night because he was supposed to come back in the morning. This bitch came back 48 hours later. So when he come back, I'm pissed. I'm livid. I'm going to fuck off. I'm like, bro, is you fucking cool? You left me in this bitch for 48 hours. I don't know where the fuck I'm at. I don't know nobody. I don't know this area. Where the fuck do you have me at, and why you keep leaving me and not coming back? So he apologized once again. He like, let's go get some food. Let's go talk. I really need to talk to you, X, Y, and Z. And he's like, oh, let me go get something off the car. So it was this table that was inside the trailer. It was like a little trailer home. So he set it there, and his phone went off. So his phone rang, and the name Meek popped up. I was never big on answering people's phone. I never went to people's phone. But like I said, when that intuition get to clicking, it's going to click. So I answer the phone, and I'm like, hello, and it's a female. And I'm like, who is this? She like, who is this? I'm like, this such and such a girlfriend. She was like, no, you're not shit to him because I'm his wife. I'm like, you his who? She like, I'm his fucking wife. I said, he not married. I'm like, how is he married when he been with me for 2 years and we getting ready to move in together? I'm like, I'm at his mom's house right now, putting my stuff in the trailer. We're waiting at shit in the trailer at his mom's house, waiting to put my stuff in the house. And then me and him finna go take the rest of my stuff to the house in Royal Oak. She said, you're not coming nowhere near fucking Royal Oak because that's our home together with our son. So I'm like, what? I'm like, you live there? I'm like, you the girl he said is supposed to be the caregiver that lives. She's like, I'm not no fucking caregiver. I'm his mother and I'm his wife. That's our marital home. And you're not fucking coming here. So I'm like, all right, whatever, bitch. Bye. Now I'm sassy. I'm mad as fuck. I got an attitude. I don't know if this bitch really playing or what the fuck going on, but I'm already mad because you abandoned me for 48 hours. 24 of the fucking hours I didn't have food or water or anything. So he come back in and he like, you ready to go? And I'm like, yeah. But I was like, I want to go home. And he was like, you want to go home? I said, yeah, I want to go home. I said, is this something you want to tell me? And he was like, no. And he was like, oh, shit, let me run back outside real quick. So he ran back outside to the car. So sure enough, as he ran to the fucking car, the phone rung again. So I answered. So I'm like, hello. It's the girl. She was like, are you behind a white and black house? I said, yeah. She said, that's our abandoned property. She said, we bought that house a year or so ago, and we were supposed to fix it up and sell it and rent it out, and we never got done. She said, that house don't have no water, no flooring, no toilet, no nothing. She said, that house is not even livable. It's literally just a fucking foundation. And he said, and you said you finna move into that house. I said, well, he told me his mom lived here, and I was gonna be storing some of my stuff in her basement, and I was gonna take the rest of my clothes and stuff to the house with him in Royal Oak, because I'm finna move in with him in Royal Oak. She said, no, baby, that's our house, and that's an abandoned house that you're at, and that's also our house, but it's a condemned bandit house. So this nigga walked back in, right? So I'm leading. I have his phone in my hand, so I launched the phone. So he like, dog, what the fuck going on? I'm like, dog, you a fucking liar. I'm like, you a liar? He like, what is you talking about? I'm like, you a fucking liar. I said, I already done went through your ID a week ago. Your name ain't what you told me your name is. Your name is something else. You 10 years older than what the fuck you told me was. This ain't your mama house. This is an abandoned ass house you bought with your wife. And you got me living in behind an abandoned fucking apartment with woods and trees and ain't no telling who the fuck walking through this bitch at night. And you left me in here numerous of times unattended by myself. Bitch, I'm livid. So at this point, he looking stupid. Because now, bitch, I know everything. And now I know so much. I know too much. So I'm gathering all my shit, which it ain't much shit to grab because I'm still in the trailer. I never left the trailer from when I got there a week ago. So I'm gathering all my shit. I'm like, I'm putting all my shit in his car. I'm like, just take me home. Take me back to my house. So we pull up to my house. We get out the car. He helping me unload the stuff. So we get to the door, and my mom like, you okay? I'm like, no, I'm pissed. So I'm like, my mom like, what's going on? What's going on? And so my mama not even knowing what's going on. She yelling at him like, what the fuck you do to my daughter? What the fuck you do to my daughter? She think he done like physically did something to me. She's like, what the fuck you do to my daughter? What the fuck you do to my daughter? He like, I ain't did shit to your daughter. This and that. Your daughter crazy. She tripping. She bipolar. She did. This motherfucker started saying I got all type of mental issues. I'm delusional. I'm crazy. I'm all types of shit. So after I get all my shit in the house, this nigga had a charger, so he skirted off and hit the wheel and ended up hitting the corner, ended up popping his tire on the corner trying to leave my house. So I'm in the house. I'm telling my mom what's going on. I'm like, this nigga been lying to me. I said all this time he told me he had a house in Royal Oak. I'm like, this nigga really do got a house in Royal Oak, but this nigga was married. He had lived with his son. His mama didn't stay where the fuck he took me to. And to this day, I still don't even know where the fuck I was at. I really don't. And so I'm like, he had me living in a fucking trailer behind an abandoned house. I said he left me days out of town at a time without fucking food. He'd tell me, just stay a night here. I'll come back and get you tomorrow. We'll take your stuff to Royal Oak. I'm like, that man basically was abandoning me. And I was like, all right. So I told my mama everything that happened. So at this point, my mama is living. My mama is pissed. She's like, I told you you shouldn't be fucking with that nigga. He was too old for you in the get-go. And she was like, and now I find out that he's 10 years older. What the fuck he said he was is even worse. She was like, I knew that nigga was lying about something because the nigga didn't look 27. He looked like he was damn near my age. And my mama at this time, my mama was in her 40s. So I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, mom, you was right. I'm still crying. I'm bawling. I'm fucking discombobulated. I don't really know how to process this shit. Whole time, this nigga still texting me after you just saying to my mama, I'm crazy. I'm all this. I love you, baby. I wish we could have worked this out. You could have went about this different. You ain't had to go about it this way. I'm like, nigga, you left me abandoned behind in a fucking trailer. You left me in a fucking trailer behind an abandoned house for days at a time without even food or water, without even calling me to check on me. I'm calling you. You not answering. You not responding. I'm like, any fucking thing could have happened.